After a year or so of waiting, we finally get to see Bachara and Otoya back in action. The FC Barca vs Munchen match seems like it's going to be fully showcased, and I could not be more excited to see the outcome. What's going on, everyone? My name is Animasu, and in today's video, we'll be taking a look at the recently released Blue Lock chapter 296, titled ECSTATIC Experience. If you enjoy staying up to date with Blue Lock or just want to support my channel, please take a moment to click that subscribe button and comment down below any video ideas you'd like to see. I also have a community Discord you can find linked in the description, so feel free to join up and say hello. Without further ado, let's get right into today's chapter, and I hope you all enjoy. The chapter opens up in the Uber's monitoring room located in the Italian stratum of the new Egoist League. Bato sits at the front while Aiko, Sendo, and Nico watch from behind, their eyes locked onto the TV screen broadcasting Isagi YOICHI'S celebration. With Isagi pounding his chest as we saw at the end of chapter 295, Sendo breaks the silence, commenting that Isagi actually pulled it off, while Aiko grins, visibly surprised that Isagi finished with a massive 240 million yen bid. This moment also shows us how the other teams are forced to see their bids from their respective monitoring rooms, while PXG and Bashi Munich get to witness them firsthand on the field. Honestly, it kind of sucks for the rest of them, but it's just a small detail I wanted to point out. Bato then speaks up though, seemingly unfazed. With sharp eyes locked onto the screen, he declares that this is exactly what he expected from Isagi YOICHI, his rival. The scene then shifts to the entire world erupting in celebration, roaring for the new number one, Isagi YOICHI. He just stands there taking it all in with the most relieved and shocked expression. This feels too damn good for him. He adapted, endured, and outplayed everyone. Through sheer calculated strategy and unwavering persistence, he perfectly crushed all of them with logic. As usual, Isagi instantly shifts this moment from something wholesome to something very demented. Puzzle pieces explode into the air, each one containing the faces of those he crushed, manipulated, and used to reach this point. Noah, Julian Loki, itoshi, Michael Kaiser, and even Alexis Ness. Each of them in some way were pieces in his grand design. With his neurons firing off, this man literally starts transcending. This hunger, the insatiable drive that only he can feel, has now evolved into a pleasure only he can feel as well. This is a completely original ECSTATIC experience. Isagi then fully geeks out on some Tokyo Ghoul Kin Kaneki type of timing. Gripping his face with both hands, his entire body tenses up, his neurons firing off at insane speeds. His egocentric spiral eyes glow intensely, locking him into this euphoric state. Bro is completely entranced by his own ego, and while disturbing, it's also undeniably hype and positive for his growth. At least I hope. As Isagi reflects on his greatest moments in Blue Lock, he realizes that every time he reaches what he believes to be his peak, he just updates and evolves even further. If he keeps pursuing this ECSTATIC feeling, this high of dominance, then the title of the world's best won't just be a dream, it'll be right within his grasp. Holding out his hand, staring forward with an insatiable hunger, Isagi says that he wants to keep it going. Winning that match wasn't enough, and as I typically say to any of my competitive teammates in every game, the greed is insane. The chapter then flashes back roughly 30 minutes earlier in Game 9, Manshrine City vs FC Barca. Bachara is fully locked in, dribbling up the field and already fully past REO Mikage. Rapidly approaching the front of Agi, he and REO immediately call out for Nagi to come help them box this threat in. Unfortunately for Manshrine, Bachara has evolved even further. As Agi steps in, Bachara executes a clean roulette turn, effortlessly bypassing him before flicking up the ball for a rainbow. Nagi slides in for a tackle, but it's too late. Bachara leaps over him, soaring past. With both players left watching, he glides through the air, lightly trapping the ball as he prepares for his shot. Singing out that he's a god, Bachara slams the ball into the net while still floating mid-air weightlessly like a bee. Nagi still on the ground just stares up in pure awe, and honestly, you can't even feel bad for him. After all the trick shots and bullshit he's pulled on others, it was only a matter of time before someone spun back. With Spain's master striker Lavinho fired up from Bachara's goal, he starts taking off his coat, grinning as he commends Bachara's play. Excited by the energy on the field, he decides to sub in, wanting to join the fun firsthand. Not one to be outdone, England's master striker Chris Prince stands up as well to hop into the game. With the match restarting after the new additions, REO kicks off to Agi to begin the play. Nagi meanwhile is deep in thought for once, sweating as he processes how quickly their situation is shifting. As Agi traps the ball, he screams out to Nagi to get his head in the game. Sitting undecided between playing for the team or himself will only ruin him. REO snaps back telling Agi to shut up and back off, but Nagi isn't even listening. Whilst in thought, he realizes he's done absolutely nothing in this match. As Agi whips across in his direction, Nagi consoles himself by saying that anything will be enough to boost his value, even just an assist. He then leaps into the air, styling on a Barca defender with a clean backwards trap. With full confidence, he declares that he and REO will survive. As he descends, he smoothly passes the ball back to REO, and without hesitation, the duo executes a perfect 1-2, bypassing a defender with ease. With the foot being shown at the bottom of the page though, The 1-2 wasn't so perfect, as Itoyo Ida slips in their blind spot, cutting off their pass and effortlessly intercepting the ball. With a sharp gaze, he looks them both dead in the eyes, casually remarking that he's seen this passing pattern more times than his own parents. Yeah, no, that's crazy, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Now in full control, he makes it clear he's not falling for that move again. As Itoyo quickly passes the ball to Lavinho, Nagi gives chase, acknowledging that both he and Bachira are fully locked in and at the top of their game. Lavinho immediately looks to Bachira, sending a pass his way while encouraging him to push his tempo and imagination even further. As Bachira traps the ball, Itoyo slips into Chris Prince's blind spot, catching the master striker completely off guard. Bachira quickly reacts, launching a perfect pass right into Itoyo's path as he sprints forward. With Nagi watching in complete shock, Itoyo then uses Chris Prince's leverage, gripping onto him while leaping sideways through the air. Itoyo mid-air connects perfectly with the ball, volleying it just like the last play. The shot pierces straight into the back of the net, leaving no chance for the keeper. With this, Barça takes the lead 2-1. Reveling in their greatness, Itoyo and Bachira believe themselves to be the center of the universe. These two goofballs celebrate together as they're just 1 point away from their first win in the NEL. As Shigeri acknowledges the goal, one of the Manshrine City NPC players yells at Nagi to get it together, which is absolutely insane from someone being carried. Nagi deep in thought does not register it though, so no worries. He's too caught up in his own mind, remembering the time when he too felt like the center of the universe. He knows that if he wants to survive on this stage, he needs to get fired up and go crazy himself. The problem is, he doesn't know how. How can he find this new version of himself that truly believes he's the best in the world? Before he can spiral deeper, REO walks up, snapping him out of his thoughts instantly. The moment he hears REO's voice, Nagi instinctively turns his head. REO points out the obvious. It's hard to get fired up when you're only playing for the team. Right now they're in a serious pinch. But instead of stressing, REO just sticks out his tongue, flipping the situation into a positive. This isn't a setback, it's exciting. Calling back to when Nagi once told him something similar, REO does his best to encourage him in his own unique way. As REO's intensity grows, a chameleon aura appears on his shoulder as he tells Nagi that if they can smash in a goal here and flip the momentum, then they will be the ones that the world revolves around. With a confident smirk, REO turns to Nagi and asks, "Is that enough of a reason to get you fired up, Prodigy?" Instead of responding, Nagi just stares in awe, completely taken aback by the new REO standing before him. With the final page, REO stands tall, holding the ball with full confidence. He boldly declares that he will change as much as needed to become the best in the world, as long as it's with Nagi. On the flip side, Nagi remains frozen, still staring at REO in awe. In this moment, REO's strength is dazzling to him, so take that as you will. With no break next week, we'll be going into Blue Lock chapter 297, titled To the Future. This chapter might bring the FC Barça vs Manshrine match to a close by skipping past it, but honestly I'd like to see more of it. Chris Prince has to lock in after being disrespected like that. We have to see what Nagi and REO are cooking up, and I wouldn't be satisfied if we just leap through that. I know a lot of people want to see the aftermath of the NEL, the final rankings in the top 23, but Nagi and REO are very significant players in the story, so we have to let them cook. What do you guys think will happen next? Drop your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Once again, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in and supporting the channel. I'm really sorry I haven't had much or any variety content out recently. I've just been very ill and busy with college, but I'm going to try harder for you all though and have some uploads you can expect this week. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video very shortly.